Good evening, everybody. We are here for round 6 of the Simrigs Sprint Series, and I can't hear myself talking, which is a very bad sign. But what an absolute banger. Let's get this show started. Oh yeah. How are we, everybody? Hope we're all well. Hope we've all had a fantastic few days since the Kyalami 9 hour. I just want to start off this stream by paying my respects to the OOR replay computer, which sadly passed away yesterday. We've had a ceremony here at home, dug a nice huge big hole, drop kicked it in there, and that's that. Rest in peace. But we move on. Stupid piece of... Love this circuit, Nurburgring. Haven't been here for quite some time. It feels like tonight we've got a 60-minute race, and I am looking forward to it, much like a lot of the drivers out there that are not in a Nissan, which is stuff all, to be perfectly fair. Do you have a new one on its way? No, I do not. So I'm going to have to redirect some funds towards that department. But I didn't have quite time tonight to sort out plan C. We are checking, we are looking, but not quite implementing. Much like Ferrari this season and the last 400 seasons. G'day, Mr. Hignett. Thanks for flashing your lights. That's splendid. But massive week of racing at the Kyalami 9 Hour. Congratulations to all of you who participated, not just in that event, but for all the events. Absolutely mega, and congratulations to Wantai Tribes IB Racing, who took home the Pro Championship, and they get to use the number 1 next year if they're out on track. So no one is allowing to crash until you get another one then. Well, I can still do this garbage mode where I can click replay. It just doesn't look as nice. Just a little heads up, your mic is popping a little like you were breathing onto it. What's not changed? Well, in my haste to get the other computer sorted, I haven't changed my headset. I normally change to the other one, which I might do prior to the race. How's that sound? Just for you, Diaboles. Just for you, I will set up a new headset, a new microphone. I'll put my little pink tutu on, and then we'll be good as rain. No, thanks, Diaboles. Always appreciate you, mate. Just also currently putting the finishing touches on the calendar for the whole year next year. We're doing the whole thing at once. Whole calendar locked and loaded. So you can inform your wife, your kids, your dog, your family, your friends, that what days you're going to be busy. And they'll just have to wait. Boombox Mike. Yeah, it's my racing headset I've got on. Also, garbage.com. Well, if you want to sit tight for 2 minutes whilst I rearrange my life, I'll get this fixed. Be right back. Mic check. How is that? Are we cooking with gas? G'day, Arnis. Thanks, Derek. Alright, we've kicked off proceedings with the 54-2. So much better. That's what I like to hear. All right. So this is the second last round, the penultimate round. Leading the way, as you all know, Jean-Pierre Sinikas. He's got 684 points. He is 95 points clear of his brother John. So a big result here tonight. We could see maybe JP snag the Split Sunset Championship. P3 though, we have Ashlyn Reynolds, who's currently P3 out on track. P4, said that too soon. But he's going to find it pretty tricky tonight in Nissan. He's 136 points back. Technically can still win this championship. P4 is Hignett. So the top 4 of the championship are currently top 4 out on track. Vincenter is P5. Herod, Holmes, Glover, Maddox, and D. Round out the 10. Shout out to Megan D. Unwell at the moment. Hope you're feeling better very soon. I'd kill for a 53. Did I see a 52 somewhere? I think I did. That is absolute spew. I've learned a lesson tonight. Well, I say tonight. I already knew that. But I don't like having a big meal before I stream. I may have just done that. Shout out to the better half. What's going on in the chat? All right. What are we running for the Enduros? Well, I'm not sure if you've read chat anywhere. The Enduros won't be 4 hours. They'll still be the long ones. So a mixture of 12s, 10s and 8s. The Bathurst 12 hour will be part of that. So there'll be 9 events next year. A little bit longer gaps between events. So rather than on the first week of the month, there'll be about 5 weeks in between. So there'll be a couple of months that don't have an event, but it gives everyone a bit of a break. We'll have a couple of Pro Series thrown in the mix there along the way. The way the calendar works is probably for the first half of the year you'll see every single track featured at least once. Yes, that includes Snetterton. Prepare yourselves for the Sprint Series next season. Other than that, we have about 6 of the 9 tracks locked in. There's currently voting on Discord. Make yourself heard because that decides 3 of the tracks. But never fear, if one of your circuits doesn't get in the vote, it'll go for the wild card round, which is the final round of the season. So, for example, Mazzano's missing, and a lot of people wanted Mazzano, so that'll be in the vote. Provisions made for DLC content. This far into ACC's cycle, you should pretty much own the content. Otherwise, we're going to be doing the same 10, 11 tracks all the time to let everyone race. But they do come on special quite often. Maybe it's a Christmas present to yourselves. You won't see a heap of tracks off each DLC. So, for example, the British GT content pack, which includes Snetterton, Alton Park and Donington. Only Donington's going to feature in the Endurance Series. For the American tracks, Watkins Glen, Indianapolis and Coda. It looks like only Indianapolis. How they got over Coda, I have no idea. Provisions made for DLC. Are you assuming new content? Well, yes. So if there's new circuits for next season, that'll probably be round 9. We could actually tinker with the round 8, but I highly doubt we're going to see any more tracks on this title. But we'll see some new cars for sure. The GT2 class will likely do a series of, so not really include them in the endurance side of things. Oh, I've got a bad feeling that they're going to fall by the wayside just like the GT4s did. Coda 8 rounds in a row. Could you imagine the scenes? The Discord would be unbearable. Yeah, so we're taking into consideration the new DLC or new updates and patches, so your car choices are going to be a lot more flexible for 2023. Just mute everyone. Who says I haven't already? Nah, I don't. I don't mind. Yeah, so the rounds will vary between 12s, 10s and 8s, and there'll be likely 3 of each. But that final round is up to you, all of you, to decide how long you want the race. It's unlikely I'll allow a 24-hour because life, but it could be a 12-minute race if you wanted it. But we'll see how that goes. Less than 5 minutes here for Nurburgring and the Simrigs Sprint Series. Shout out to the team at Simrigs. If you're an OR patron, you got a little discount code in Discord. So 5% off all items in store. If you got any Christmas presents you're buying yourself or someone else, do consider the guys at Simrigs. Great products, but most of all, best customer service out there, bar none. So those that are competing next year in the Endurance Series, I'm kind of keen to see if you want to change your car. We're going to stick to what you used this series. Or more so what you want to use for Bathurst. Do we open up the V12? Do we allow the Jaguar? I think you're only going to get the V12 if you want to have nice times with your ears, but I don't necessarily think you're going to be very competitive. $53.8 so far, qualifying pole position here for JP Sneakers. Hignett P2, not too far behind with John and Ashland. Those front two rows. I say top 10 will have to run Jags. But will they be top 10 if they start with a Jag? So they're going to have to pick something else first to get to the top 10. Oh, absolutely throwing it through there is Josh. Vincent is up 5/10. And with the top 10, I can pretty much confirm that the shootout is back. So that'll be held Friday night from about 8 o'clock. We'll coincide it with a shakedown so we can test the server. Drivers can make sure all deliveries are showing correctly. Then we roll into the shootout. Oh, a little bit too much inside Apex there, and that's cost Vincent about a second. So yeah, the shootout will be back, but slightly different. So in the past we've allowed an outlap and bang, one lap. This time it'll be an outlap and you get 2 rolls of the dice. Some of the most fun things to call has been the shootout in the past. Vincent is up 4/10 again. That's about really the only change we're likely to see in the top 10 at the moment. We've got 31 out there tonight. One stop, 60-minute race. I think with the latest updates for ACC over probably the previous 12 months, having an extra lap to get those tyres in the right window is probably more beneficial anyway. So we can mainly see some records broken, but potentially. How about a reverse grid quali race? How about no? That sounds very much like Hold My Beer. So I like the reverse grids in some aspects, but the others where, like, you're better off qualifying 10th, right? Is Vincent up? No, he's down again. So that, count that lap out. We'll go back up to Reynolds. Joshua Morgan's gone to P4. Can Reynolds get back into that front 2 rows? Also, likely to confirm that the F1 series, the Legend series, the in-between season series will be on the F2 cars. So keep an eye out on Discord for those changes. We've got the final round coming up this week at China to crown this season's champions across 5 tiers. So join JC and the team on Sunday night. Qualifying is over. Can Ashland improve? Little Birdie says yes. He's going to go P4. Takes that spot back. Hignett is up a couple of tenths. Can he snag pole position off JB Sneakers? He's taken a lot of grass. I don't think that's going to pay off. That is painful there for Mr. Hignett. Cardillo goes up to P5. Vincent, whose delta's been up for most of these last laps, he just can't quite get one of these sectors correct. And I think it's sector 3. But if he stays the pace here, he'll be up into about P7. Also, if you are looking to jump on another title for some fun, we're going to be starting an AMS2 series next month and holding a lot more races on that platform. Just as something a little bit more casual, or a little bit different. Vidna up to P8. Nice little last lap there. Shawnee Bub now, he's about on par for his current time. Can he improve? He's the last man out on track. My dog ate my glasses, cleaning cloth, so I need a good race call until I get back from her. Oh dear. Garbage truck, Conan, or garbage car? Why not both? I really want to bring up the Michael Gray story from last night's F2 testing here in OOR, but I might save that for another time. It's still one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Another amusing thing is Hignett competed on Saturday in the Kyalami 9 hour. Basically, his PC blew up before he was meant to get in the car, so he spent the majority of the time rebuilding his PC to get into the PC and run it on a potato, and managed to do it. So shout out to Car 600 and the 500 guys that helped out with spotting. If you've got any stories like that from your endurance races experience, then let us know. Because it takes a lot sometimes to get all that up and running. Things happen. Nah, maybe I do share the story because it's funny. So I'm going to share it. Sorry, Michael. It's just so funny. So last night we were in a lobby doing some F2 testing on the F1 game. And one of our members sort of jumped on voice and sort of said, "Oh, I'm racing with a sore hand tonight. I've burnt it cooking ramen." And we're like, "Oh, that's no good. What did you do?" "Oh, just spilled some hot water in it." Then he's going, "Oh yeah, I've done a romaine grosjean." He's compared burning his hand with hot water, cooking ramen, to romaine grosjean hitting a fence at 200 kilometers an hour, bursting into flames and being set on fire with a battery. Similar things, and literally not quite the same thing there, Michael. But absolutely hilarious to hear that. My boss, PC was in use as a test bench for Hignett to figure out what had died. 3080 Ti. Ouch. Ramen is super serious. But it wasn't the well, it technically is because it would have been the broth that was hot, but I like that's where it went first. It wasn't anything else other than straight to 200 kilometers an hour into a fence, caught on fire, nearly knocked out, had to climb myself out to save my life. Comparison. I want photographic evidence of the hand just to compare. Ah dear. Alrighty, we wait for the safety car to kick this off for round 6. Safety car tonight driven by Romain Grosjean. Can we nickname him Bernie? Well, we could nickname... Oh, who was... Lauda. I think Lauda had the most burns from a driver I remember. Like that fire that Nicky Lauda had was not nice. Yep, safety car's not here to make friends. Shout out to the creator of this livery, Gunther Rao. You might see his little brand on it somewhere. Forgot where he's put it. There it is. True to life racing designs, right on the nose. Yeah, Blair was the one that spun. Would have been Silverstone. Very impressive, but he's not the only one that spun it now. I spun it once, but I don't count it because it was in thunderstorm conditions at Misano, and it was the last time we ever red flagged the race, and everyone was spinning. Not really the same. So, some usual suspects up the front here. Simrigs Brothers, Hignett, Reynolds, Cadillo. Rounding out the top 10 is Morgan, Drum, Vincent and Herod. Great to see Morgan and Drum right up the pointy end here in the Pro-Am class. I swear Sean Glover was out there. He's in the wrong class though. But he's disappeared off the server. G'day, Valiance. How are you, sir? We'll let the safety car roll out and block pit entry at Donington. Was it Donington? It could have been. Or was it another... I remember which one, Derek. But there was also one at the end of Hungary, maybe? They kept rolling out the... That's iconic. Oh, I need footage of that again. Wonder how we're going to go here for the start. Turn 1 at Nurburgring's pretty dicey because it's a bit of a blind apex. Down a hill after a decent-ish straight to start things off. So we do see a lot of cars get tied up at turn 1 here. But we wait for green lights to kick off the penultimate round and we're away. Nice balanced start again. You can see Scotty Blair in the McLaren. Great little start. Sneaking up the inside of Spidey there. 3 wide at the front. What is going to transpire here? Hickman's had a great start. He's going to split the two cars. He gets a little bit of a touch. They're going to go 3 wide again. Oh, Hignett, Conan, and John Simrigs just holds on the Audi. The Honda. It was nearly how do you do? Bit of green. Yellow at the back. Colourblind tonight. They've managed to find their way through here okay. Not an easy couple of corners to start a race off is the Nurburgring. And yeeted into oblivion of the 4 cones. That didn't take long. Still think they shouldn't have bothered putting them there because they're gone every first lap. But so far, great little start here. Single file pretty much everywhere. A couple of cars at the back, 76 and 165 have come a cropper. And there we go. A little bit of argy-bargy. But nothing too sinister. Up the front, JP has consolidated pole position here. And he's got a nice little break from the gaggle of cars right here. So we might just stay on board with Cadillo, who has an absolute swarm ready to pounce. Who was out there? Drum, Vincent, Godfrey, Scanlon. Scotty Blair's obviously lost out a bit from his great start off the line. Cadillo's taken a lot of apex. He's just held that. Oh, he's a very slutty boy. And John Drum's going to pull up next to him with Ben Vincent right behind. As that is first lap done and dusted. There's a couple of little breaks in the track map, as you can see. But we've got a few battle packs. And these battle packs are going to be going for quite some time. John Drum has gone deep. So is, what the hell is 10-pin bowling at Nurburgring? Bang! Strike! Get the... Oh, that's going to take you off some Christmas card lists. Won't be happy with that. That's not very nice. Thought I've seen everything out here on the tracks, but that's a new one. Multiple 10-pin bowling using cars. The Germans. Oh, Scotty Blair though, I think he's jumped like 5 positions from that incident. Yeah, he was 12th. Now he's up to 7th. And my replay monitor's in a hole. Oh, I'll have to watch that back manually. I think, yeah, I don't know. I think someone's had maybe a medical episode. But that's the type of incident you do see at the Nurburgring. If you get it wrong, you get it horribly wrong. And it just kind of does that. Oh, speaking of got it wrong, that Lamborghini looks worse for wear. That's Lachlan Nichols. And that steering doesn't look crash hot. Well, maybe it's not too bad. Either way, he's going to need a sledgy and some race tape. Maybe an early pit stop here. Pit window should open at the 55-minute mark. And here's another swarm of cars. Oh my goodness. Lockie's just got a bit of a tap in the bike. Back, 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 bang! Back, back, bang! Nice little concertina effect there, and that's just unfortunate. 75 is off in the kitty litter. Marky Witchell. I think that might have been assisted. So after lap 1 being pretty good, lap 2 was an absolute disaster. Oh, that was close. Let's go up the front where it's a bit more peaceful. JP holding on from Hignett. Hignett's not letting him go. Reynolds P3. John Sneakers P4. Joshua Morgan after a great qualifying P5. Same with John Drum. And then we've got a lot of swapping around here because lap 2 tings. Window is open, and those who are in the pits now are going to absolutely hate themselves because their pit stop will not count towards their mandatory. But sometimes you just got no choice. So I will try and watch back. Was that you, Jared? Mr. Ellis. I reckon, mate, what you got to do now is go to Woolies, buy some apology cards, find out how many cars you barreled off, and then send it to them and invite them 10-pin bowling. All right. I want to watch that replay back. And now I know where to watch, so... Alright, so this is the car behind. You can see the swarm of cars ahead. Right behind Scott Blair, who actually fared quite well here. Jared Ellis comes in. 7-10 split. Bang! I'll take half you out. Take that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 or 5 cars are not coming to your Christmas party. We all make mistakes. Oh, Scotty Blair looks really pacey at the moment in McLaren. The McLaren's pretty good around here. Definitely holding its own. It was dropped off at a few other tracks, but not too bad here. Drum, Herod, Zach Malloy, and Vincent up. That is the top 10. Just to capitalise on the Pro-Am Championship, Tom McDonald's leads the way. Have I seen him out there tonight, though? I don't think I have. No, sorry, I'll take that back. There he is. He's a staple. And that's in a good way. But he's P1 in the Pro-Am Championship with 241 points, only 5 points ahead of Shawnee Bubnow, who's actually in the pits early. I don't think he was one of the cars that came in before the pit window, but I could be wrong. So the rookies was a bit rough. Yeah, but you're going to expect that with the rookies races. Like, they can get away with making some mistakes. They learn from it. As Shawnee Bubnow comes out, blue flags. Oh, not a great fun time for Sean right now. But head down, bum up. You don't know what's going to happen with your competitors in the Pro-Am class, so she's not over. But yes, obviously not ideal to be coming out in traffic. Only cost him more time. 165 10 second penalty, causing a collision on lap 1. That is... Oh. That's Shawnee Bubnow, so just went bad to worse for Sean. So the Pro Series round 3 is off to Nurburgring on Saturday. Can't wait for that. Really enjoyed calling that series so far. 168, not 165. That's Lockie Nichols. That's the Lamborghini, and that is his race done, I reckon, because he's still in the pits. I do feel that watching some of you guys drive, I don't think necessarily it's bad driving. I also think you probably haven't set your gear up right. And I really do feel that having more channels and videos and stuff about setting your gear up would benefit a lot. So watch this space, because there's definitely a little area for that to help you out. Incorrect decision making comes with the experience as well, so you do expect the bad decisions to happen until the experience is up, but also learning upon the mistakes that are made. That's the other big facet of anything in life, really. Yep, I fucked this up. What am I going to do better different? Or what am I going to do better oh, damn. What am I going to do better next time? And what am I going to do differently to avoid what I've done? A lot of it's the P word. Practice or patience. We've all made mistakes, though. No one here is perfect. I am fairly sure I absolutely destroyed someone. Could have been AMS2. I was, mind you, doing cartwheels and pissing myself laughing as I rolled back onto the track. Perseverance and avoiding the Porsche. All the major P's. Yeah, that's another thing that I get in. It probably annoys me more than the incidents themselves. If you do cause an incident, just say sorry. Like, don't automatically assume that it's the other car's fault. Like, if you make rear contact, really sorry, mate. Whether it's in a fun lobby away from series racing or it's after the race on a Discord message, I tell you what, most of the animosity between drivers will just end like that if you just send a message after the race. Because at the end of the day, once the race is over, oh, geez, that was close. Like, that's it. You can't change anything that's happened. That might have been me you cleaned up, so there you go. Sorry, Derek. Live on chat, I am sorry for murdering you in AMS2 on Monday. Can I say sorry in advance? Like prepaid tickets? Absolutely. Car 5, 10-second penalty, causing collision on lap 1. Car 5 is Kieran Reid. The difference with the AMS2 one was I was already pre-murdered. I just didn't do the right thing with my car after the murder. Hence then me murdering someone afterwards. But these series like right now, people practice for these. People put a lot of effort, time into them. People also have stressful lives where this is probably the way to vent out. So just, people might react a bit harshly towards you, but everyone's got stuff going on, so just got to do your bit to be friendly. That's a blue flash. Sean Bubb now getting absolutely fed at the moment through this field. Godfrey is a beautiful man, and besides that, he's really putting the pressure on McDonald. Are they really? Tickets sold at OzGP. Wow. I guess I'm not going. Any sponsors out there got a tent that they can bring me to? Sad reacts. Oh, this is good racing. A lot of space left for both drivers. Not easy through there, so well done to Tom McDonald and well done to Brock Godfrey to get past cleanly. Mr. Scanlon right behind his little Spidey mobile. He's done very well. He's very on brand with his car. Darty, there should be in our Discord. If you're in the Discord, you should be able to, if you verify yourself, you can join the Aston Martin chat room and just ask in there, and I'm sure there's someone with an Aston setup kicking about. Anyone actually run a different setup by mistake, or doesn't it work? So the setup has to go into the right folder. And I'm fairly sure if you put that, I don't think it would work. I think if you did put a setup for a McLaren in the Aston, it would technically work maybe, but it's not an easy thing to do. I honestly can't say that I've known anyone that has done that. But there's always a first time for everything. There you go. It loads a default safe setup if the setup file is wrong. Most important question of the whole night. Who's looking forward to Snetterton Sprint Series next season? Because I am. And none of you can change my mind. You've talked me out of it twice. She's in the calendar and prepare to embrace her. I guarantee you it'll be more fun there than some of the other staple circuits that you guys really love. Round one. It won't be round one, but it'll be early in this series. Hey, Mo, if you want to go. Yeah. Plenty of Friday. I don't know what they're doing with if the free practice is still going to stay the same. Oh, definitely. You just got to delete System 32 at all costs. That fixes most things. Cosy Mozzie saying Snetterton is the beast of a track. I think Snetterton, it literally feels like just a paddock. And hey, we get to say bomb hole on stream. It's a win-win. Speaking of win-win, McDonald is having to defend again. This time it's from Simon Scanlon, a fellow Pro-Am class combatant. Oh, I get to say Snetter's off. Snetterton's like the opposite of Paul Ricard. Where all Paul Ricard runoffs asphalt, where all Snetterton runoffs is a paddock. And the fences are like kilometres away. That's a penalty. Stop go 20 there for 3-4-3. Yeah, you know me. I've actually got the whole Sprint Series tracks here ready to go. I want to see if anyone can guess two others. And a little hint is ignore this season pretty much and ignore the first endurance races pretty much, which not all of you know yet. Hignett is coming in out of the leaders. So he's the first to pit there. And Scanlon's just ahead of McDonald and looks like... Oh, that's... Wow. That's interesting. Oh, that's not ended well for anyone whatsoever. Yes. Oh, Kidzillo's getting all crossed up out of the last corner. So Scanlon, unfortunately, out of the top 10. Yeah, McDonald got a little bit flustered going into that chicane, went a bit deep, tried to take evasive action, but it comes back onto the track and just a bit of side contact there with Scanlon and has dropped a considerable amount of positions. Oh, I've got a few guesses in chat. I might actually bring my sheet up. So pretty much the goal for next year is to do all the circuits and share it around and not have the same old, while still keeping a few staples there. Bathurst 12 hour being a staple. So if you see an endurance track in the calendar, it won't feature in the sprints if it's on at the same time. Just little things like that. As we all count down to more details on AC2. It was at this moment he knew he fucked up. Yep. My word, it did. I reckon that was about halfway through the grass. Is Watkins in Sprint Series? Watkins? Oh wow, my mic I just caught my microphone off a stand. No one is ever going to witness what I've just done. But I'm holding my microphone stand head thing. Jeez. Has anyone ever done like magical stuff with their reflexes, but there's been no one around to watch? So did it really happen? Anyway, Scanlon's in. So Watkins Glen will be in the next series of the Pro Series. So it won't be in the next series of sprints, but it'll be in the following one. Oh, come on, microphone. Do your thing. You know you want to. Get it. You're too good for your home. Sorry, chat. Just amateur hour here at Taz Productions. All right, done. So it was Hignett right behind JP for quite some time, but he's pitted and he's down in 22nd. So I don't think it was a forced stop. I think he just wanted to go in early, perhaps, which was an interesting call. But let's just look at the chat to see what you've selected or predicted. All right, so who said what? Derek said Imola and Alton. Incorrect, because Imola's going to be one of the events. No Alton. Ferox said Suzuka and Mazzano. You are correct on both accounts, sir. I tell you what, wherever Cadillo is, there's action always. I don't think this man's given a 5 minutes break any time he races. Nice little move there in Michael Manns. And partner in crime, Robert Maddox. He's right there as well. We'll stay on board with Rob. Others in chat. Connor said Laguna Seca. Nope. Zinni's gone for 3. Hungary, Imola, Laguna. He's got 1 right. Valiance has said Zandvoort and Hungary. You've got 1 right. I hope Zandvoort's updated, because the proper bank corners and the updates they've done to Sector 1 would be absolutely insane on these cars. It'd be one of the GOAT tier tracks if they actually nailed that. I reckon it'd be more fun in these cars than it is the F1 cars. Blue flag car here, that's Paul Cranich. Very bright Red Bull car. Looks good. John Rad's there as well. He's looking really feisty on the outside. Runs out of room. Brands Enduro, nah, no chance. But it might be used for somewhere else. As we said, the tracks that haven't been done much, we're going to see them pretty early, I reckon. About all that we were watching before. I reckon we'll just stay with that for now. What other guesses can I see in chat? Tight. 3-way battle here for P13. Sorry, 12. Maddox is through. John Rad now putting the pressure on Michael Manns. The thing with Watkins Glen is we did an Enduro last year with it, and we don't want to have too many double ups. And we're trying to do something different with Kota and either Indianapolis. And so far Indianapolis is leading, but I'd rather bloody do Watkins and Indy. We didn't do an Indy Endurance last year, did we? For some reason I thought we hadn't. But maybe I've got my wires crossed. I'll have to check the black book. Well, if I put up another vote in Discord saying, would you like Watkins instead of these two tracks, would you be open to that? Because I'd much prefer Watkins Glen return, because that is a GOAT tier track. We won't see Paul Ricard next year. We've done that a couple of times in a row. Sag. But Watkins being a good compromise. Yeah, I'm not a huge Laguna fan. That was known today. Still drying off after Paul Ricard. One of the most intense things I've ever watched. So JP has pitted. Yeah, I reckon something's happened along the way there, because he's quite a fair way back from JP. So JP is 12th. Hignett is 16th. 13th. Never mind. I love the timing sheet in this game. It's just amazing. We'll give my left bollock for Adelaide. I reckon you're not alone there. Brands Hatch is the answer. On the grapevine says that you might see Brands Hatch pretty early next year. Heard it on the grapevine. Da, 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 da. Now they're starting to pit. It's nearly at halfway. JP on track to get another win here, which will put him on 1 billion points. He needs to be 150 points clear, or 158 points clear to cement the championship. But then the drop round's in there. Drop round just confuses us. JP's leading the championship. That's what I need to know. Rowan said he's practiced the most on the Brands in ACC. See, that's the thing with Brands. It's actually a nice track to hot lap. Wheel to wheel. With lots of cars. Oh, I'm going to regret putting it in the sprint calendar. Same season as Snetterton. Yeah, so the drop round was intended for those that wanted to rock up. But people aren't turning up for every race. And even exceeding the drop round. So I reckon we might put it in the bin. I don't know if it's added anything really. It's worth a try. We like to try stuff. I'd like to ditch the drop round so I can actually work out the standings properly and quickly on the fly during the last race. I'm going to have to create a new YouTube channel account here, Firelord, to smash out these pens. Okay, I'm going to remove one of these tracks I just looked at. So Snetterton's going to get a run next sprint. So is Brands Hatch. And Mazzano. And Paul Rick. So we're going to try and different types of tracks in there, but I think we've got too many of the short types in there. If there's 9 races, you can make 8 changes. If that makes sense. Mazzano's the mini enduro. So that was kind of the weighing up part for if it was going to miss out because of Imola. So I've thought about it. Oh, that's a lot of curb there from Mr. Atkins. That's a bouncy boy. I got to stop watching TikTok. I'll tell you that. I don't know if anyone else does it, but they jump into bed and just scroll TikTok on their phone. Yeah, it's useful, but Valiance. So the Pro Series this season, like, okay, everyone that races sim racing needs to just realise one thing. You will never, ever make up for being smashed compared to the other driver. Like, you can DNF someone in real life in F1 and still score points. Yeah, that is just racing. We will penalise and do all we can to limit that as best we can, but it'll never be equal. There's a lot more stop-goes and drive-throughs being given out than probably many realise these days. So that's first and foremost. Don't expect them to cop the same amount as what you've lost. Once you get past that, it makes a bit more sense for the next part. In the Pro Series, for every penalty you get for 5 seconds, you lose 2 championship points. I wasn't saying you were having a wine, Valiance, but it's just more of a generalised statement. So yes, every 5 second penalty, 2 penalty points lost. Sorry, 2 championship points lost, which ultimately adds up and hurts them a lot for the ones that aren't clean. This also goes with getting qualifying bans and all that. And so far, it's worked pretty well in the Pro Series. So if we think it's a good system, we'll implement it for basically everything. So that way, they're also being penalised, missing out qualifying or races. So again, if they've murdered you and they've copped like a stop-go 30, that's well on the way to, that's a qualifying ban straight off the bat. Plus, stop-go 30, you're losing probably 14 championship points. So yeah, it's a balancing act. It's always been a balancing act. At the end of the day, this is still grassroots league, grassroots sim racing. And we're all here to have fun. The videos we're working on for rules, it's all heading in the right direction. It's all good. Hopefully these two can head in the right direction for the rest of this 24-minute race. Zach Malloy, Brock Godfrey and Robert Maddox, 1, 2, 3, haven't pitted yet, which means provisional leader is Sonicus with Hignett and Reynolds P3. He's been so consistent this season in an absolute donkey of a car in the game, that is. So I think changing cars between endurance, whilst you're all assuming that it's just to get the people to benefit, get the win, well, if you're investing so much time to a race and you want to win, that's a good thing. Like, you kind of want to enjoy the most aspects of pushing for that win, but it also allows the Nissan to feature more of a track that pops up that it's okay at, because otherwise you're not going to see it. Same with the Bentley. So there's always that as well. It does look hot. You look hot, Connor. Yeah, 130. Oh, it should be a DQ, but the game doesn't give you a DQ. It's rarely happened, but every now and then someone new to like mandatory stops might go and serve a pit stop in the window but forget to put new tyres on. They just fuel up. That's happened a lot more. There's that aspect as well, Chris. So if you're trying to learn a new car beforehand, like you might settle on a car. We might put in little bonus points if you continue using the car for 3 rounds in a row or something. But again, yeah, we still got to balance it out. I think more of you thought the changes were going to happen in endurance this season, but I think only 4 or 5 teams changed over the last 3 rounds. Like, you cop your pen, but yeah, I'd more worry about what your car's doing than what another team's doing, and you'll get way more enjoyment out of it. Oh, you're going to go to the Honda. That's awesome. If the Nissan's better here than Silverstone, that's good, because from what I read with Reynolds, he thought it was trash, but I think he's more referring to that he just doesn't like Nurburgring. But also with changing cars, like, there might be a patch that changes how the car handles or its BOP. Nothing that you could have done to predict that was going to happen or whatnot. Or you might lose a teammate who was pushing you to drive the car that you drive, but you're not really keen on it anyway. Or you just, as you said, might lose motivation driving the current car and want to change. I don't think you should be penalised for wanting to just do something different. It's your time you're investing. So, yeah. If it was like a Pro Series, yeah, no chance in absolute hell would allow a change during the season. But they're short little four-week things anyway. Also, yes, if the new cars do arrive, I'd love to see more Lamborghinis and Ferraris out there. Porsche I'm not worried about. The Porsche fanboys will pick it anyway. So 20 minutes left here for the penultimate round of the Simrigs Sprint Series. And JP has a firm grip on that championship trophy in his beloved Aston BMW / Bentley. See, this is another man right here. If the Bentley had decent BOP, he'd be back in it within a heartbeat. But he's kind of handcuffed to use something else because it's just not competitive. And why would he give up a sprint series just to race a car that he prefers? Look, you still want to be competitive. Nah, can't have teams expect him to use. You can use the car the whole 9, but 9 rounds, that's a lot. That's like 12 months worth of racing. Hignett is 6.8 seconds back, and Reynolds is not too far behind him. We'll keep an eye on that delta to see if Reynolds can push for P2. I really like the looks of the new Ferrari 296. Ferrari, as you can see on this listing right here, not quite as enjoyable as it used to be. And also, another thing that's just unbelievable, and this is how quick things change in ACC. If you go look at the Pro Series on this Saturday, look at the leaderboard, look at the cars selected, compare it to that. And that will just tell you what happens in ACC quite quickly. Nah, she thinks she was born in one. She's probably die in one. Oh, that's a morbid thing to say, me. Sorry, Meg. But you know what I'm getting at. 6 different manufacturers in the top 6 is good to see. Yep. But again, it's more of an open series. Oh, that's an interesting. Oh, he's done well there, Connor, to just get out of the way. But yeah, you compare this to Pro Series on Saturday. Porsche. Aston. Hang on, what's the other one? Honda. It's basically Porsche and Honda. And here, look at that. There's 2 Honda in the entire list and not 1 Porsche. What beer are you drinking? And do you drink and drive in sim racing? An actual car? That's an effort. Simon Scanlon on the outside of the hairpin. Oh, he's had a dab on the brakes a little bit. It's going to be very dusty out there. He's got great drive. What an overtake. Spidey's sticking to the track with those webs. Nice work. No, you spill it. You can put it down, have a swig on a straight. Oh, there just wasn't many Porsches selected for the series. Because when the series goes on open for registrations, it just hasn't been a favourable card. Like, we're talking hardcore Porsche lovers in different vehicles at the moment. Beer is the equaliser. Milk is my equaliser, and I got told that they think I drink too much. They being friends. What do they know? There's no such thing. Don't sound like friends. Yeah, it could be worse. I could be smashing the glass Barbie. Oh, you're drinking too much milk. Jesus. It's a tough crowd. No, it wasn't done in any malice. Oh, here's a question. If your friends were asked what drink or snack reminds them of you, what would that drink or snack be? What's your staple? What's your go-to? What's your vice? Michael Mans is having a great race today. One of the sexiest cars out there. Love this livery. Coffee, chocolate milk, and honey soy chips. See that? I like that. See, that's something different. Did you make that one, Pete? Get friends. Okay, ask me then, Charles. Oh, I'll do it for you. Honey soy is the only valid chip. What's the question again? Well, it's hard to ask the question if you don't know what it is. So, the answer is gummy bears. Maddox here, really close on the back of Papa. Oh, he's going to make him earn this overtake. Not an easy chicane. He's done very well there to tuck in. Probably cost himself a little bit of exit speed. He might be too far back here for turn one. But 12 minutes to go. Plenty of time and chances here to get that move into the top 10. Another very nice looking car. You take it. So I was pretty good with the gummy bears. How good are gummy bears? Ooh. Reynolds. Within a second now of Hignett. Really putting the pressure on. The blowtorch. Wasabi coated peanuts. You just put two things together that I can't stand. I just can't do the taste of wasabi. And the reason why I don't like peanuts is I was allergic growing up, so I never really had them, and now they just don't taste great. I don't mean to diss your snack, but I just don't have the balls for wasabi. Oh, Johnny, you were sitting around P7, P6 area. One of my best races this season, and bang, 20 minutes approaching, and I couldn't last 20 minutes before dropping. Yeah, that sucks. Bad luck, mate. Time to switch to Lontel. Whereabouts are you located? I used to be with Internode back in the day. Before they got sold to TPG. I think TPG owns iNet, and ever since then, this customer service and the connection was just wow. Wow! Speaking of connections, we have a lift off here for Robert Maddox, who has entered the bloody Shadow Realm in the ARSS Racing entry. Goodbye. Actually, he's fucked off to do the Nordschleifer. Well done, Robert. See you later. Take care. Be good. If you want it in the game, that's what you got to do. Robert Maddox, off his way, the Nordschleifer. Do you feel as bad now, John? Actually, it would, because it's still not great that you're got disconnected. Yeah, it's never nice to have those disconnects. He definitely had a brownout. I had a brownout for a moment there. Yeah, Rob hasn't had much luck, and this time it's his internet that's let him down. Bub now doing well. He's hung in there even after an early incident, early pit stop. Pushing the door here for P23. Because it's still not all over yet for the Pro-Am Championship for Sean. They've got P4 and John Sneakers right behind them. I'm going to have a controversial opinion here and say the Nordschleife is overrated. Unless it's IRL. It'd just be a hard track to kind of commentate and broadcast, I reckon. Meanwhile, it looks like Ashlyn Reynolds has just got ahead of Hignett. Absolute insanity. He's been raving on about how bad the track is or the car is here, and he's sitting P2. Only 6.8 seconds off the lead. So Reynolds is 41 points behind John Sneakers. So pretty sure he picks up 125 here tonight, which will be 25 more points than John. People struggle to take 9 corner tracks. I don't know how you're going to go with one with 9,000. And imagine calling that for the stewards. Turn 79. A 77. Yeah, the formation lap alone. You obviously wouldn't do one, but imagine trying to pick the field up with a safety car. It's better off coming out and overtaking everyone. It's so funny. That's why I'm looking forward to AC2 and AMS2. We're going to have a couple of different types of circuits. ACC, I think there's 19 in game. A camera on every corner. Jeez, the broadcast room would look like NASA. First world sim problems, basically. Scanlon, he's been battling everyone today. He's sitting in 14th. Got a bit whacked about 20 minutes ago. He was up around P10, I'd say. But fighting his way back, he's looking very pacey, putting all the pressure on John Rad. In a car that also doesn't get used much these days, and that is the Mercedes. It's a beautiful car. I really do like the Merc. Very aggressive, especially as a road car as well. AC2 will be it won't be like locked in for GT3s. It'll be like AC1. They're using their own engine, so there'll be modability, and I hope they've learned a lot with their service based on this game, because that's what we'll be throwing ourselves into once it's released. So we'll stick with ACC whilst there's interest. There's no reason why we still can't do ACC GT3 series. We won't be really racing GT3s, I'd say, on AC2. I don't know what Kunos are going to do in that department. If, whilst ACC is licensed, do they really push a separate title that's not licensed to do the same thing? I don't think SRO might want that. Depends when the license ends. I don't know. Lots of question marks in that space, but there's a lot of stuff we can do. There's always been a stepping stone, ACC, for OOR. A lot to learn, a lot to take away. Lots of infrastructure being built, and it's been fantastic. As Simon looks on the inside, he doesn't quite get it done. Well, I know you love your R Factor too, George, but that's a big what if at the moment that thing's going to even exist in 12 months' time. We want something new that's not established, that we can just stick our little teeth into. We'll stick with F1 whilst that's got a player base, and hopefully one day that actually hits a point where it's like, oh, this is a great sim, rather than, oh, this is all right. Look, what I'm hoping, it's actually been an evil plan of OOR's too. We're going to take over Garfield Kart. So this endurance series is going to be on in Garfield Kart. See, Rensport is another. Watch this space. Again, it's very limited to cars. but it might be fun to race on. I'm just not overly keen on titles that require a subscription. There's no reason why we can't do iRacing, but not a huge advocate. If you buy content, you should be able to race and use it whenever. Crash Team Racing Enduro. Oh yeah. It is. It can be Martin, but it also isn't. It all depends how you set it up, but it's a very confused title at times. Doesn't know which kind of direction it wants to take. And as a broadcaster, for quite some years, you're never amazed when little bugs rock up. It's like it's not shocking anymore. I think R Factor 2 used to have a subscription model, but that got canned 12 months ago. Good decision.
Alright, man. The leader is on the final lap.
I reckon if any company developer brings out new content for a title, you should be paying for that content. They're actually investing in it. But I don't agree with subscription stuff. So, JP Sneakers has started the final lap of the race. Won a couple of battles in the top 10. This is for 6th. Also a battle for 10th at the moment and a battle for 13th. So, we'll try and keep an eye on all of them for this final lap of the race. Vincent in striking distance? Yes, he is. I've only got one PC at the moment tonight, sorry. Agreed, Martin, it was. I don't know what happened since. They fix one thing and break 4 others. Don't think Zach Malloy is going to be close enough. He's very good under brakes at the moment, though. This is another battle for the top 10. Papa Vintner, both in the BMW. Not quite close enough there for turn 1. And then we've got Scanlon and Rad, which is what we saw before. Well, Scanlon might be close enough here. Good defending there by Rad. Defending that inside line. He's gone very deep under brake, so the switchback's going to be on. And Spider gets the move done. Patience pays off for the Spider. And up at the front, John Pierre Sonekas picks up another win here for Split Sunsets. And he's got one hand and a couple of other fingers on that trophy for the series. Great work, JP. Ashton Reynolds is going to cross the line. P2 in the Nissan. Give this man a medal. And Benjamin Hignett picking up a podium. Great effort as well there on the BMW. So, Aston, Nissan, Beamer, Honda, Audi, McLaren. Top 6, all different manufacturers. Things you'll love to see. Power loss, Rob. Yeah, we just saw that. Bebby was mentioning it. I might have been spectating you at the time. Always tends to happen. Scotty Blair's going to finish 6th. Zach Malloy right behind. Herod right behind him. Godfrey P9. And the battle here for 10th. It looks like Phil Papa is going to hang on. Vincent is throwing everything at him, but just not close enough. So well done, Phil. Cadzillo right behind him. Scanlon, as we saw, got past John Rad. Turn 1. It's going to be 13th. Well done there. Tom McDonald is going to finish 15th. Does have a 15-second penalty hanging over his head, so he'll drop probably down to 18th. Mans, Connor Atkins, Josh Brady, and Kieran Reid. I think this is his first race of the season because he's been busy with work or school. He's going to finish top 20. He's a lap down, so I think McDonald might finish just above him. There we go, in 18th posi. And that is the penultimate round done here for Split Sunset. We'll go over the standings, then we'll have a bit of a chat about what you guys are talking about in stream. So, qualifying points. Seneca, Signet, Senekas, Reynolds, Cadillo, Morgan. And in the race, overall we see JP Senekas pick up the win, 9 seconds ahead of Ashland Reynolds. Benjamin Hignett picking up P3. So that's the podium for tonight's racing. In the Pro-Am class, we've got Joshua Morgan, Zach Malloy, Brock Godfrey, 1, 2, 3. AM class, we see Cricky, George Cash, and Mark Witchell, 1, 2, 3. In the silver class, for some reason, because Andy Bishop hasn't submitted a delivery, it gets to the, whatever Bender says, the Grand Slam or whatever crap. So well done, Andy Bishop. And that's racing done here. So what am I missing chat about F1? But basically that it's garbage.com. I would love it. LMP is a possibility on AC2. Obviously there's a lot of water to go under the bridge before we can start looking at other things in the future, but we're going to finish off ACC nicely in 2023. Go hard or go home. Lots of people jumping on board with sponsorship and prizes and discounts and all the fun stuff. Thanks, Steve. I'm going to see if this actually works. Dun, 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 dun. Gallery. Yeah. Whilst we chat, let's just throw this up. I don't know what type of highlights it'll show, but we'll have it here. See, I wish F1 had this option because it's just that type of format that should. It's ridiculous that it doesn't. So this is not me controlling this. I'll just let the game do its thing. Thanks, Holmer Beer. I've been practicing that. 3 wide at turn 2. And they've managed to make it work. That's just great driving. The autosave being so short. Yeah, the hour 15 max. I wonder why that is. Maybe it caches in the RAM too much or something. Maybe you need to download more RAM or get the defibrillator out of the car. I don't know. But it is a bit frustrating having to press save all the time, which a lot of us forget to do. Oh, Phil Pepper, Brock Godfrey. Oh, actually, I don't know if this is worth doing each week. If you guys want to watch the highlights back, it's obviously a bit harder when there's a split coming up straight afterwards. But if we tie it in, we don't really have to watch qualifying. That's not really essential viewing. But maybe we have a drinking game, whereas if your name pops up in the top right, you have to drink. So drink up, John Rad, Lee Perkins. Oh, it's a bit cooked sometimes, but that's part of the fun, isn't it? At the moment, it's pretty good. We've got 2 overtakes. Nice little one there by John Rad. Skull. Who else is on the drink list next? I think F1 does have highlights, but you have to be racing. I don't know what that is, hold my beer, but I can investigate. Oh, John Rad's looking on the inside here of Scotty Blair. Scotty Blair holds on. Oh, here comes Herod. See, I'm just getting used to all these liveries until we change them next season. Oh, around the outside. John, no, that's a great cutaway. It's been Lance Strolled. Do the highlights show sadness or just overtakes? Oh, a little bit of a touch, but that's Rubbings Racing. Both entitled to that corner. No harm, no foul. I hate how they don't have the capital E on Evo 2. Oh, that does my OCD in. And there it is again. Godfrey McDonald, drink. See, the Honda Evo's got a capital E. Keeping those for internal review. I don't know what's more petrifying, Godfrey's car or Wilson's, Doug Wilson's. Because that is pretty scary looking. And again, drink up. Oh, that was so close to the back, but he's just got too late on the brakes anyway and really cost himself. So next week, final round of the year as we head to Kyalami. Tomorrow night we have Split Ascari and Split Beckett in Asia Pacific. Then we're off to Split Radion, which is in Europe, and then Split Corkscrew, which is in North America. No accidents, lap 2 was missed. Oh, that's a little bit of apex, a little bit of curb, a little bit of sadness with a touch of disappointment. That was George Casher. Oh, what we need to watch back is an ovals race from AMS2. Then some quality racing on Saturday with VRS. Yes, so VRS Pro Series on Saturday. We're off to Nurburgring right here. It's been some great racing. First 2 races are brilliant, and then race 2 of round 2 kind of just really kicked off. But it happens. And on Sunday night, we're off to F1. We're off to China for the first time. I cannot remember for the final round of the series. Big week of racing. Big couple of weeks to see out the season. And the Simrigs prize packs for the Sprints rookies patrons. That'll be drawn next week. But you had to have, I think, competed in at least 5 rounds to be eligible. There's no point in just signing up for a race just to enter the draw. So we're having second Christmas party, so Sober Chris will be off for the eve. Nice move there. Brad's been everywhere. I wonder if I can fire up AMS2 whilst this is going. Bear with me. Because that would be absolutely hilarious if I can. Fuck it, I'm going to try. I'm going to break my computer here, but am I racing which one in particular, sir? Yeah, I'm going to see if this works. Oh, they're showing blue flag overtakes. Come on, game. That's a bit rough. I'm going to try. I am going to try. I've done some laps Monday and Tuesday. I'm feeling good, so I'm going to give it a crack. Oh, who was there Amos to? Alright, I'm going to chuck this on. Right, these highlights are cooked. Everyone knows that it was showing overtakes for blue flags. That's just ridiculous. Boom. I don't know how my computer hasn't exploded yet. Is this work? Can you see this? I don't know what I'm doing on this game. If you haven't joined an AMS2 night, you're missing out. We always end up doing ovals and it just ends to be tears, sadness and everything in between. We call safety cars ourselves, but this race in the Genettas was just absolute fire for 10 laps. Very, very amusing. That was... you're going to see some sketch driving, I reckon, from most of us. I can't remember which race was just absolute chaos with safety cars. So basically, it's 10 lap race. You just pinned the entire time. They weren't super crash hot for slip. The first Mercedes race. I think I recorded it. Oh, in the background. Alright, I'll try and find the Mercedes race. A little bit of a different replay system as AMS2, but if you set the game up right, properly, and you've worked some stuff out, it is an absolute riot. I think it's this one, and look, if you're still here watching, I apologise in advance for about a witness. Because you're about to witness something. Yeah, it isn't great, the replay system. It's just too clunky. Oh, this is just going to be absolute... Oh, dear. I can't believe I've just put this on. Okay. Like, you're probably wondering what happened. This isn't... Alright. I'm not going to really sell the game very well here, but I'm going to discuss it. So you're on a pretty much a limiter of about 100 or so, and if you've got it pinned, you're going to be around no matter what. And if your wheel's not dead straight, you're going to do what basically all of us did. Like, it wasn't just one of us. You can just see. Like, if you... Yeah. It's just sadness. Absolute... It was fun. All I'll say, it was extremely funny. So we've called a safety car. There's pretty much no wings left on any of these cars. Very spicy though. But the cars are so great in the slipstream that you get such a good run. Oh, bang, bang! Don't know who that, but yeah, good fun. So if you do have AMS, come and join us on a Monday night. Do something a bit different. I'll try and get up to the pack. The replay system isn't super, so... Yeah, Automobilista 2. So basically with these cars, you don't want to be leading until the very last moment of the race because you get absolutely swamped. I'll turn the names off so we can't name a shame. Someone's wall riding at the back. But wheel to wheel, like the bumping, it's pretty good considering... Obviously, you know what contact patches are like with some other games and all the fun stuff with lag and that. It's pretty good on AMS2. Like, look how many... Wow, look that. That should be instant death. And basically, it means someone has died if we're going really slow. Which sounds like me. Okay, what have I gone on? That's bushel. Oh, look what I found. I get spun, and I'm pissing myself here. Pissing myself, haven't braked, I'm laughing my head, my head off. I was talking about this on the stream earlier. That is hilarious that I've actually found it. Making my way downtown, going fast. Oh, it wasn't me that hit you! Oh, it wasn't even me that hit you. It was the other car. I'm the other silver Merc. It was someone else. Oh, I don't feel bad at all now. But yeah, that's straight out murder. Oh, so my rejoin didn't kill anyone. I got killed, come across, but it was someone else that tagged you. And hilarious. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm here. To be fair, I wasn't slowing the car up on the grass, but I've actually dodged everyone. Sorry. Oh, come on, this clunky thing. So me not holding my... Yeah, I'm the one on the outside, so I get spun. But actually not holding my brakes, I flip over him. See? Nice of me to put myself on two wheels. Yeah, and also you got to reset the track button, but if another car's too close, you can't do it. So I've tried my best there to help out, but... Anyway, quite funny. Oh, wow, Mark. That is embarrassing, mate. That is great, though. Yeah, Max is good. Thanks, George. The old bugger. Oh, 3 wide. Super sketch if you understeer as well. He's been fed. Yes, oval races are pretty good. Don't think so anymore, Mr. Peabody. Does the server need sorting? Because I can jump off anyway and go sort the server out. There's a couple of other buttons in this. That Wing found a new physics engine. Oh, where can we go on board with someone? It does this stupid thing. There we go. If it's a bit delayed, it might need to be skipped to the next session. I haven't given it a go in VR yet. So I basically sold my VR after I had to use it at ACC. So this is my history of VR. Hungaroring series, I can't even remember. Practiced all week in VR for Hungaroring. And got to the race, crashed. Logged back in, crashed. So then I had to do qualifying in a single monitor. I know it sounds first world problems, but I hadn't practiced or set myself up for that the whole time, and that was it. Basically didn't use it again. I got too hot in the VR, and because I'm always alt-tabbing and sorting out Discord or sorting out server stuff at the time, it just wasn't practical for me. So yeah, I didn't end up using it, which sort of sucks because there's iRacing and there's AMS2, which are apparently really good. I don't know what F1's like. Wow, that's close. See if we can skip to the final lap. I think that's safety car-ish. But I've heard good things about this game in VR. Oh yeah, we said let's go 5 wide. Oh, this ain't ending well. Oh my goodness. Oh, making babies in the background. Ah, shit. I think I'm second or first in this race. Well, I can't remember. I think we got duped because it doesn't say the right lap number if it's a rolling start, I think. I don't think I won it. Not the last corner. Some super blocking. Oh, yeah, I did hold on because of that drama there. Oh, that's close. Oh, that's right, I had a penalty. Actually, I don't know what the game's doing. What the fuck did I just watch? Oh, anyway, everyone, I'm going to head off. See you again tomorrow night, same time, 8 o'clock. For Split Ascari in Simrigs Sprint Series. Take care and see you there.